We're kind of matching today.
Oh yeah, we kind of are. Yeah, yeah. Damn.
Twinsies,
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 twinsies.
twinsies.
This was unintentional twinsies today. Oh man.
Oh,
Oh. All right.
damn.
Well, let's get this started, Twinsy. I want to welcome
Twinsy.
everybody. I want to welcome everybody to the 2-4 podcast. I'm your host Christian, and this is the Broski Kenneth. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody?
Man, today we have a lot to talk about. We're going to get through it all as fast as possible or take our time. It don't matter to me. Um, we're going to talk about the NFL, a little bit of NBA, and just kind of recapping the World Series since
Oh
that,
yeah,
that got done and over with yesterday. Um, how was your day, man?
man. It was good. I mean, I got the bye week blues, but it was nice to watch some good football and stuff. So,
I mean, at least one of us got to watch some good football.
I mean, you had half of a game worth of good football.
Well, you play two halves. You don't play one. If
Yeah,
we played one halves, I mean, we would be
you'd be
we
undefeated
yeah, for the most part. Yeah, yeah,
for the most part.
yeah. I'm telling
Uh,
you, if it wasn't for some other teams pulling through for me this weekend, this would be a bad sports weekend for me.
yeah,
Because like, I mean, this one hurt, man. This is, but I
yeah,
talk,
yeah.
I. How about we just start with the elephant in the room? Uh, that is this team right here.
The Raiders.
Ah, they
The
they
frustration.
they're the Las Vegas frustrators, man. The
Frustrators.
frustrators. They
For real. I was frustrated for you, man. I was like, what the hell is going on? Just decided to leave early.
I mean, so like you and I talked about this a little bit last night cuz you asked me uh did I have good feelings going into this game, and I told you absolutely not. And I
Yeah.
said hey, I I've gotten on Trevor Lawrence a lot, okay? But as much of a turnover machine that he's been, uh I told you it doesn't really matter because my team ranks dead last when it comes to like takeaways and stuff. So,
Yeah.
unless he's like extremely, extremely bad, we pretty much had no chance because of the way we've played. And on top of that, we rank pretty low in red zone stuff. And I told you that I had a feeling the running back was going to give us the business as well. And
Yep.
the kinds of things that I was bringing up last night came to life this morning. And there's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
there's like I want to refrain myself from speaking too much. So I want you to talk about this stuff, man, because right now I'm not in a good place. So
I got you. Yeah,
I'd
man.
rather you say the negative things than me. So you say the negative stuff,
I
and
will I
and then
will
sweet talk me
there's
with
some
some nice stuff.
there was some positives though, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's not all negative, but deep down there's something that needs to be figured out over there in that organization. Whether it's McDaniels, whether it's Derek Carr, whether it's Mark Davis, there's a problem somewhere, you know. But I mean, start of this game, and you guys were looking good. Devontae Adams was getting the ball, had two good, nice touchdowns. The run game wasn't there, but you're consistent, keeping it going. Like we
Yeah.
talked about. What they need to do is, even if it's not there, keep going at it, and that's what I saw what they did.
Yeah.
But it was a total fall apart situation in the second half. It's like I don't know where the offense went. Definitely don't know where the defense went. Because you only gave up 10. Defense gave up 10 points in the first half. That's pretty decent for
Yeah,
a team
no.
that doesn't have the best secondary. Um, the defense created a forced fumble recovery in the first quarter, which led to some points, I think. But yeah, man, just watching this the second half, it was kind of just like somebody deflated their balloon and it was going down. The body language from Derek Carr was kind of just like nonchalant, especially in the moments where he had a chance to go down and win or tie the game. Um, you know, they escaped from the running game to try to, because they're playing from behind, escape the running game, and the only one who was really getting targets was Devontae Adams. I mean, you know, you had two receptions from Moreau, 3 from Renfro, 3 for Jacobs, and 2 for Mac Hollins. Like, your receivers got to help out the quarterback as well. It's just not on Derek Carr to try to make something happen with this offense.
Yeah.
But I mean, but really, it comes down to that defense slipped up big time in the second half, letting them score all them points.
Yeah, I think it was a
Because you
combination
had
of the defense and Derek on that, man.
yeah, big
And the
time.
O-line,
And I mean,
because
in
he
the
was
O
getting
line,
pressured
yeah,
pretty bad. But go ahead, continue.
yeah, just a combination of those two. I mean, when you go up, 17, uh, to when you go up 17 like that, you want to try to keep putting on the pace, putting it on them, because this is what happens when you don't. I feel like they kind of just it got away from them too fast, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So
It's frustrating, but
I'm gonna drop some takes on here, man.
yeah,
I know a lot of Raider fans want to see McDaniels fired. I was
and
never
they have a right.
for him, but the thing is, Raider fans, you got to realize who our owner is. Like, our owner does a lot of stuff ass backwards. I mean, the whole reason why this dude got hired was because he thought it's the most important thing that you hire somebody, because, like, we had our head coach and our GM vacant, and so we're interviewing for both positions, and he thought it was important that both these guys name each other as the potential hire. So like there was rumors of a lot of like qualified candidates, and um then all of a sudden, out of almost nowhere, Josh McDaniels gets hired, and it all comes from that mindset that Mark Davis has that somehow makes sense to him, that you need these guys to like love each other that much right off the bat, not like a relationship that they could build on or something like that. I don't freaking know what his thought process is on that. I don't know. I really don't know how good of a GM Dave Ziegler is. Um, that's something that you definitely need a little bit of time to tell, but it doesn't help that even though we had Cap, still do have Cap, we never addressed things that was a glaring obvious, um, like help in the backfield. Uh, also a better front seven. Even if it's guys that are a little long in the tooth that you don't really know, uh, you really don't know how much they have in the tank. Like in Dominican Sue, I think that he would have still been very valuable, even if he didn't have that much left in the tank. At least he could help the other guys along. Um,
Yeah, it
and
would have it would have been just another name that people would have to look out for. You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Having a name out there, because that might help you get some dubs just by the fact that like people know what he's capable of, even if he's not actually capable of doing it anymore.
yeah.
And so you see an issue where we can't come up with sacks outside of Crosby. And you have a situation where, like, in the backfield, we're not getting interceptions. Um, and, like, our linebacker core isn't the best, man. Like, I'm no longer really a fan of Denzel Perryman. Um,
Yeah,
he, he's, had some missed tackles and things like that. And on top
I
of
believe
that, like,
also.
I would like my middle linebacker to be taller than him. I think he's like 5'10", 5'11", or something like that. I would like
Yeah.
I would like my dude to be like 6'2". I
Oh
just
yeah.
I just like having size at certain positions. Like some positions I don't mind if they're 5'10", 5'11". But like middle linebacker is kind of one of the ones that I do mind, because like the dudes in the trenches, they're pretty big, so I want to make sure that he can for sure get a clear vision of the quarterback and like how he's calling things and etc. So
Also big, tall linebackers. They crowd up that middle right there.
yeah,
You know, so they can, along with height comes wingspan. So they can crowd that middle. Uh, what also hurt is you had a um defensive player go down that game.
hmm
What's his name? Let me find right here. Divine Diablo went down
yeah,
pretty
and
early. He
and
went down
he's
like the second play.
and he's actually been the more consistent linebacker. So
Yeah.
yeah, that does affect things. But then going back to some of the stuff that you had mentioned, like offensively, like going away from the run game, like I'm looking at time of possession. All right, we lose it by like 5 minutes,
Hmm.
and we give Jacobs 17 carries versus Etienne having 28.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs gonna get at the minimum 20 carries. The minimum
And like
20.
they're both averaging the same amount of yardage. So
Yeah,
like they're committing to something even if it's not giving them the ginormous gains every time.
yeah,
And it's because like you gotta you gotta help your offense out. Like you can't just be pass happy in the second half primarily.
it's too one
Like
dimensional.
exactly, it's so one dimensional. You're not making it hard on the defense. You're making it very easy for them, and that's why it was so hard for them at the end. And um, I've said many times this is a run blocking O line. This is not a pass blocking one. They're not going to give Derek Carr time. There's some
No, they
good.
didn't. He got
There's some.
sacked twice that game.
There's some good names on that front seven. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand how if you're a pro that you sleep on this stuff, but it's a combination of Derek also being uh inaccurate with some things. Um, I do understand that the O line not doing him any favors, contributes to that. But there were some times where he was just fine, but I feel like he was choking, and
yeah,
and then McDaniel's him continuing to abandon the run game. It's If this was other organizations, he would have been fired a long time ago. This is
yeah,
inexcusable. We are usually very much in a game when we be feeding the one dude who's been extremely consistent all season in Josh Jacobs. But I don't know, man. There's a reason why the Belichick tree doesn't work out.
yeah,
They tried to implement too much New England and not enough common sense. And I don't know what Josh McDaniels is trying to accomplish, really. Like I'm not sure if he's really that inept at times or he's thinking way too much. That is something that coaches do, that they complicate too many things, and they do say his offense is extremely complicated. Well, you need to dumb it down, dude. You have
yeah,
weapons, but you don't have the things necessary in order to utilize those weapons. Like
yeah,
so the O line is the biggest thing. We don't have an O line that can sustain for that many, passing plays in a game. Like
yeah,
you got to become more efficient by just running that ball and throwing it when you can. Like the reason why Devontae had that one really wide open touchdown catch was because it was in play action.
play
You
action. Yeah,
So in that first half, you're committing to the run. That's the only way you get play action off. Otherwise, no one's gonna believe it.
yeah,
So, Raider Nation, I feel for you. I am. For me, the season is such a waste. Um, I feel bad for Devontae. Um, this is not what he signed up for. Um,
no, definitely not.
And like I said, I really don't know how good the GM is either because I spoke to you yesterday and how I think it was his lead assistant saying we now know exactly where our area of needs are. And it's like, what do you mean you now know?
No, yeah,
I knew before the season started. I knew that the O line was trash because you didn't have no first round picks to add like real talent to the O line.
Nah, nah.
And then like the the defense has been suspect, and you didn't really change much. So what do you mean? The problems that you have today are the same ones that we had before you guys even took over.
Yeah,
But like with these guys, we're looking worse than we did last year. We're looking so much worse, and that includes the play calling from our defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. He's been terrible as well because I don't see him doing enough uh, things to try and pressure the quarterback. Because without pressuring him and having him get hit a couple times, that quarterback will not throw an interception.
yeah.
The only way he throws an interception is if the ball was too hot for his receiver to catch and it bounces off his hands and you just so happen to get it. But other than that, like as far as, making a bad pass or something like that, like it's not going to happen without that quarterback feeling unsafe in the pocket. It was nice to see Devontae being utilized as much as he was,
He had a
but
great game. He had a good game.
him and Jacobs should have both had a monster game. It shouldn't have just been
Yeah.
one coming in the loss. So I mean that's my thing. I know this is not the way you want to hear a podcast be so doom and gloom, but it's kind of hard,
It's
man.
reality.
It's kind of
It's
hard. You don't have many games in the NFL like you do in baseball and in basketball. Um, one loss is a gut punch,
there's yeah.
and we've had 6 of them now.
And how many how many days in the week you prepare for one of these games, it you put a lot into one game a week. So yeah, it's I feel for you guys, you know. You know, it this team was a big bright spot for a lot of people getting Devontae. That's like, okay, yeah, now we're gonna do something. But I feel like y'all got bamboozled with McDaniels big time because he's just that it just feels like there's no culture with this team. There's no like liveliness to the team. Even if you guys are losing, I don't like to compare teams and stuff, but like watching today, I mean, look at the Jaguars. Look how the Jaguars play for their coaches. They play hard. They play,
Yeah,
they play as a team. And look at the Detroit Lions. They play hard for their coaches. I mean, it's like these guys only played hard for 2 quarters, and now they're like, that's all you get. It's like, nah, man. They have to do something to come together and be a team. Like it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page, you know.
yeah,
And I feel like that comes with you know having the expectations going into the season and how it's looking right now. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like you said, Devontae was like, I didn't sign up for this. I could have been somewhere else, you know.
yeah,
So I think definitely figuring out what you're gonna do with coaching. Like we talked about it the other night. Um, I don't think you fire McDaniels because you don't want to constantly go through coaches and not have that you know, always trying to figure out a new plan every time you go through a coach.
Yeah,
Now they can be like, let's scrap what we did last season. Let's try to do something consistent. Let's try to do something simplified with the offense and the defense.
I mean,
Let's
if you if you fire McDaniels, you might as well just go on full rebuild mode, which is
if yeah.
so crappy, man, because I mean, we were all looking forward to seeing Derek and Devontae, tear things up in the league.
Yeah.
And to start over from scratch, I mean, that's
That's
tough.
hard.
Because at that point, you for sure should move on from Carr, and you should probably move on from Devontae as well, because he could fetch a lot. There's no point in
Yeah.
keeping him with a team that is not going to be capable of getting him the ball, having great success. I don't see you having great success because, again, our owner is ass backwards. So I have no idea.
Absolutely.
I have no idea if we would get a competent head coach under him. And yeah, I just don't see it.
So
let's
so
what's up?
so what so what you would say is he's the root of the problem.
Oh yeah,
Mike Davis.
I mean definitely
Majority.
Because when Derek Carr was like on that MVP level, his longest tenured coach was Jack Del Rio at that point. He wasn't constantly having a new OC. He wasn't constantly getting a new head coach. And, he had a GM who knew that in order to have success, you need a decent quarterback with a great O-line. And that's what we had. And then it got dismantled because Mark Davis wanted his Bay and John Gruden.
His boo thing.
He just had to have Gruden, and yeah, man, it was
it's
we know what happened with all that, man,
and no need to go backwards. No need.
Yeah. So let's just move on to some of the other games that happened, man, because there were some interesting stuff.
Some good games.
I wanna talk about this before I forget. Please like, comment, subscribe. Should have did that earlier.
And we got a background now.
Oh yeah. I hope you guys like the whole new layout, man.
Little something I did.
Yeah, man. Dabrowski did his thing, man. He and we're gonna continue to keep tinkering and adding things and all that. Give us some time, man.
It's only getting better from here, man. It's only getting better.
It's only gonna keep getting better, man. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't feel like subscribing, at least hit the like button, man. And don't feel afraid to say something to us, even if it's rubbing it in our face that the Raiders lost. I know this dude isn't a Raider fan, but he cares. He cares for Broski, and so I want to segue into something that you had brought up, and that is the Detroit Lions going against the Green Bay Packers. Before we start diagnosing things, okay? If I told you that that Green Bay did not stomp on the Detroit Lions. Would you believe me?
No.
And if I told you that Jared Goff had a better touchdown to interception ratio than Aaron Rodgers, would you believe me?
No.
And if I told you that they had time of possession on their side by pretty much 10 minutes and pooped the bed, would you believe me?
No.
Well, I hate to
You could
tell
also
you.
if you also tell me if they'd only scored 9 points,
Oh yeah, yeah,
would I believe you? No.
yeah. Well,
Jeez, man.
you have no choice but to believe me, sir.
I know. I'm seeing it from my eyes.
Mr. A Rod himself was a
Hey,
bad.
Aaron.
He was a bad man. Not as in bad man, but
Bad
as
man.
in
He was
man, he was
bad, man.
bad, man. What the
Yeah.
man?
Trash.
Who farted and took a dump in this joint, man? It was Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, Mister Immune, having self don't need a COVID shot self, Mister Long Hair don't care looking like John
Here.
Wick self, um, the conspiracy theorist himself, Aaron, threw one touchdown and he threw to 3 receivers that weren't on his team. They were wearing Detroit jerseys.
They were wearing blue uniforms. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is colorblind. This just in: Aaron Rodgers colorblind.
Which
Instead of seeing 11 players on the field, he was seeing 22.
Which it don't even that wouldn't even make sense if he tried to make that point. Which I think he would make that point on the Pat McAfee show, because he makes a lot of excuses there. But like, it still wouldn't make sense if he said I'm colorblind, man. I've been so my whole life. Well, are you also just blind because they have a picture of a lion on their helmet, whereas you guys have a big old picture of the letter G. And in that case, what are you gonna tell me, man? They use actually Stevie Wonder out there? I mean, damn. Why pay
Damn,
you
man.
if why pay that guy that kind of money if he over here Ray Charles in this thing, man?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I did
That's
tell you guys, Detroit, even though the record don't say it, they got some good things going on over there. It's just a matter of time. I'm not saying it's this year, and I'm not gonna say it's next year, but it might be the year after that if their organization doesn't get in their own way.
Look, they just traded their tight end, Hawkinson, and they won this game. Like they have some good pieces, man.
So wait, hold on. What you telling me is that Hawkinson was holding them back this whole time?
The whole time. Look, like the whole time. I mean, they only won one game before that. What? Plain and simple, man. But
Yeah.
this Lions team, man, they got some good pieces to build on in the future. And like I said, man, they play pretty hard for their coaches, man.
Yeah.
They play even though they're a losing team. They've been a losing team for quite a long time. They still play hard, and you do that consistently, you're gonna have some success. Do I say Jared Goff's the GOAT? No. I mean, he's an okay quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback. But you do got good pieces in Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift. You know, Amon St. Brown is a good receiver. You know, and you know, I think that they can get some good pieces in the draft. Maybe go after free agency, get some more good pieces. Who knows what this team can amount to? But yeah, they bent Aaron Rodgers over and spanked him.
Yeah, man, and for whatever reason, Aaron really thought that the rookie for Detroit, Kirby Joseph, was on his team on those routes. Man, it's crazy.
Either
Tweaking his
that or he
routes.
really wanted him on his team. He was
Maybe,
like, "Hey man,
maybe.
just
He was like,
come join us."
you see how good I feed you right now.
Yeah, come on, man. Just
M-
come.
Imagine what we could do together. And he's like, bro, I don't play on the offense, but you see how good you and I have good chemistry already, and we ain't even on the same team.
Oh man,
I'll turn
that's what exactly how it happened.
I'll turn you into a wide receiver, dog. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, I watched a little bit of that ending on that game, and man, it looked like Aaron Rodgers didn't want to be there. He was like, "I'm ready to go home."
I
He
mean,
was like, "I'm." He's like, he wanted to retire right then and there.
he probably should have,
He's
man.
like,
He
he
probably
probably
should
should
have.
have. They probably should like
This this is this season is
that
not
was the one.
going the way he expected it either, man.
That was the one question that was brought up after this game was, "Do you regret retirement?" I said no, but deep down, there's a little bit of regret.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm curious to how he gonna be putting people under the bus.
Yeah,
Uh
he's
you know,
just gonna
I
go
didn't
on a podcast somewhere.
I didn't listen to any post game stuff, but I'm pretty sure when he gets on the Pat McAfee show that he'll definitely throw somebody under the bus, maybe a few.
Yeah.
That's what he typically does. An exciting game that frustrated me just seeing it, man, was the Charger and Falcon game.
Mm.
Because Austin Eckler, man, he got bailed out. He got bailed out with some good luck. I have no idea how this happened, but dog fumbled the ball.
Yes.
It got picked up, and dude was running with it from Atlanta, and he was like, I'm going. And then all of a sudden, he drops the ball. What? He had
That's
nobody
why.
around him. Nothing. Maybe a ghost went and slapped it out of his hand or something. I have no idea. But he had the easiest fumble return for a touchdown he would ever have in his career. And the dude dropped it, and then this fool had the gall to be like, what? Like he literally said like what, like this. Like you look at the replay, what just happened? And then he had to go look for it, and he's like, man, I left it over there. Damn. Couldn't get back to it
That's
in
why
time.
he's a. That's why he's a lineman.
Man, I would have
He
cut
got so
his
excited
ass.
he got the ball.
I probably would have cut his ass. Whether it's cutting his ass from the team or I take a knife to him, I don't know, man. If I was his teammates, I'd be so pissed. Oh my gosh, bro,
Yeah.
they had that thing in the bag, man. And now the Chargers are 5-3 when they could have been 4-4.
Yep.
Atlanta, you doing
Yeah.
me
They got
dirty,
bailed
dog.
out. They got bailed out.
And we've been hyping up Atlanta this whole
Yeah,
season.
they got a good team, and Marcus is playing good. They got Cordell Patterson back. Tyler Algier, that is a good running back for him. I got Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Like, Yeah, man. I thought I had honestly I had Atlanta to win this game.
Thought they were gonna win this game too, man. Thought so. And then
Yeah.
they what had happened was Austin Eckler was like, "Oh no, reverse card."
Uno reverse. He hit him with some juju, man, and he whispered in the lineman's ear. He was like, "Run, big boy, run! It's the first fumble recovery touchdown you'll ever have." He got so excited he dropped the ball. Like, you just can't do that.
Hey man, but they did.
But yeah, I mean,
But hey man,
that sucks for two.
it was a fun game for everybody at home to watch, man, because
Oh yeah, it came down to a field goal
it came down to
for
a
a
field
kid that
goal.
just got called up. For a kid that just got called up to be the kicker,
Came the hero.
became the hero.
But,
Funny story with that guy, with that kid.
What?
He was actually supposed to go to a Carrie Underwood concert, and his agent called him, be like, "Hey, the Chargers want you to come play. They're gonna sign you." He's like, "All right." Hops on a plane to hit a game-winning field goal.
This dude was about to go see Carrie Underwood. Man, come on, dog.
Yes. How about that, right?
It would be sad if he just went with himself and that was it. Like he didn't have
He
nobody
was
to
going by
take.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, man, I just feel Carrie's music so much. You know, she speaks to my soul.
What do you think he was? What do you think he was listening to before the game? Carrie Underwood.
Probably, man. How crazy would it be if he was like, "Man, I followed her since she was in American Idol."
Yeah. I don't even think that kid was born yet.
Maybe not. Probably right.
He's a young kid.
I mean, he might have
a young
been.
guy.
He might have just been
Might have
a
been.
kid or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Man, another close one was the Bills and the Jets, man. And I've been talking about the Jets defense all season too, man.
Sauce Gardner. That boy is dirty, man. Not dirty as like a dirty player, but like
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
He's nasty when it comes. His stats, man, phenomenal.
Yeah, dude.
Phenomenal. He has not given up touchdown. He is not give. He's on pace to not even give up receptions. Like nobody wants to throw to him, and it is so perfect that this defense closed it out with him breaking up the pass. Sauce Gardner broke up that last pass for the Bills, and man, the Bills got upset. They got upsetted, man.
Yeah, dog. Like
Josh Allen threw 2 picks that game. Man, no touchdowns.
Dude, I don't remember the last time I heard that he got sacked 5 times. I don't think it's ever happened.
This defense was playing out of their mind.
And this here's something, man, because I've been saying there's I know that the NFL is physical, but you do have a difference between a physical football team and like a finesse team. Okay? One is way more physical than the other. And the Jets are anything but finesse. You know, they ain't finesse, not even in the slightest, especially on that defense. And Josh Allen, man, he's a tough dude. He's hard to bring down. He's a big old dude, man.
He's a dog.
And so for you to get at him as many times as you did, Okay, now it's 5 sacks, but they had half a sacks in there too, man. So he's getting hit more than just the 5. He's getting hit, you know, on multiple occasions by multiple dudes, and they were like, dog, we were gonna get close and personal with you all game. You gonna tell us what kind of toothpaste we use, because that's how close we're gonna be, man. You gonna smell my breath on you. And yeah, dog, they went at him. This team was not afraid of the Buffalo Bills, because they were like, dude, we got a chance to get 6 wins right now. We got a chance. We're coming in 5-3. We got a chance to get that 6th win, and you're gonna see we on the same level as you.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, the Jets are no joke, man. This isn't the Jets of old. This isn't the butt fumble Jets. Okay, this ain't Mark Sanchez's Jets. This is a different team. Okay,
this ain't Geno Smith's Jets.
This is the Zach Wilson Jets.
It's the Zach Wilson Jets. Yeah, I mean, you also got to give it up for Robert Saleh. I mean, he is a great defensive mind, and I mean, he's a former defensive coordinator at San Francisco from last year, and he's a head coach now. But I mean, you gotta think he's got he's got ties with the defensive game.
Oh yeah.
And
just because you go from just because you go from coordinator to head coach,
yeah, no.
because like your coordinator will give you options and you get to choose.
Bounce it up, yeah.
So
no.
yeah,
he's a great defensive mind, and you know, it just proves what a good defense that goes out and plays hard can do to a possibly the top offense in the league.
You know what the Raiders?
The top offense.
Listen, this is what your Raiders. This is what my Raiders need. I don't know why I say
Raiders,
but this is what my Raiders need to do, dog. They need to quit with hiring all these weirdos. Okay, these dudes that are not proven at all. Because like John Gruden, to me, he's not a proven dude. He won with someone else's team. Okay,
yeah.
He went straight to being a loser right after that Super Bowl. Okay. And then when he came to us, he became a loser again. He became exactly what he always was. He's a loser. Okay. Josh McDaniels. Okay, he was a loser with the Broncos, and he's probably a loser right now. Like, he probably is never going to redeem himself. There's a good chance.
Nah.
Okay? So, I'm looking at Miami, and I'm looking at the Jets. What do they have in common with the head coaches on their team? What coaching tree did they come from, man? I think we need to rob your team of their coaching talent and bring them to my team, because obviously you guys know what you're doing, which I never thought otherwise, because you guys are really good ran franchise overall in the grand scheme of things, whereas the Raiders, like, they were always a bit of a hot mess. They're not always, even when they're actually winning teams, there's still questionable things about them, like the way Al Davis goes about stuff. You know, he will be the distraction of the team, whereas like you never want anybody to be a distraction of your team, especially your owner. That don't make no sense, but he was always a distraction. And then as he got older, he got worse with things, and he became more and more petty, which he was always petty. That's another thing that would get in the way of the Raiders having I think more success, possibly more Super Bowls, is that this dude was ultra petty with a lot of stuff, and he would let Hall of Fame type talent just walk away.
Yeah.
He didn't need nothing in return. He's like, screw you, I don't need you. Bye, Felicia. Um,
Yeah.
and that didn't always work out for him, man. And but whereas you guys, I could only think of like one time that you guys were like really, really poorly ran, and that was like, um, when like Vernon Davis was a young dude.
Yeah.
In those days, that when Mike Singletary went over there to try to clean things up and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Those were some bad years.
yeah. So that was like the one time. So all the other times, you guys have been pretty solid. You guys have always tried to be competitive and do things the right way and all that. And so I
And
think
I
it's
mean, it's a good example, to like from top to bottom, from owner to GM to coaching staff. Like these guys, these guys, yeah, they play off each other. They actually like have meetings together,
yeah,
and discuss the future of the team, which is really a positive outcome of your whole entire franchise. You know,
yeah.
you
Because
know,
I mean
obviously
you,
the owner has some ties and things, but
yeah,
really, from San Francisco's standpoint, he kind of just lets you know
you,
Lynch and Shanahan do their
yeah.
thing, man,
That's what I
and
was
that's
gonna
what
say.
they're there to do.
You let people do their jobs, and you give them
Yeah,
the support that they need to be able to do their jobs.
exactly.
Um,
And look at what's paid off in the
yeah,
last few years. Not
and
even the last few years, like since like 2012 when we really started getting back into things.
yeah,
You know,
and proof of my point is like you guys have been a winning team despite having not an elite quarterback, nowhere near
yeah,
elite.
we have never not really an elite quarterback. We've had Alex Smith, Kaepernick.
Well, I'm saying right
Um,
now. I'm saying right now, like
no, yeah, not even right now
he, cause
is. I
like,
mean,
cause Cap at least he looked elite with
elite.
y'all,
He
you know,
did.
and I'm pretty sure Alex got
Alex was good.
a Pro Bowler or two. I think
Yeah,
I can't
Alex
really,
was good.
yeah. And then
Uh,
but like with Jimmy G, I mean, you guys are able to make him look good, and you guys are just like, hey, just don't mess it up. That's all, man. Like just do your
Yeah,
thing.
Jim. Hey, be like, hey, Jimmy, just do what the hell you have to do. Don't do anything extra. Just
Yeah,
do what you got to do.
play
You
within
have
yourself,
you have
dog.
so many you have so many elite players around you
Yeah,
that like you don't need to do all the flashiness. Just
because
just throw the ball.
he pretty much never had a bad O line. He's pretty much never had
No,
bad targets to throw to. He's pretty much
he's got the
never.
best left tackle in the game,
Yeah,
and Trent Williams. He's got a good center. Mike McGlinchey is good.
yeah,
It's all painted there like a Picasso paint, not a
yeah,
Picasso, but like a Da Vinci painting right there. You
yeah.
know,
And then, like I said, you guys have had good coordinators come through. And so
yeah.
that's the other thing outside of players being really phenomenal
We
players.
generate really good coordinators that turn into head coaches,
Yeah, and does not surprise me whatsoever that
and maybe it won't surprise me down the road that D'Amico Ryans gets a head coaching job. Like it won't surprise
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Kyle will just call up another one of his friends that he's really good with in the past. Be like, hey, you want to be a coordinator for me? It's just, he's got like a phone book of people that he has worked alongside with on so many different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What games are out there right now? Well, let's keep it kind of in that same vein that we was, talking about your former OC, now head coach. The Dolphins squeaked out
Mike
a win,
McDaniels
which is
squeaked out a win, which is surprising because the Bears showed up to play.
wasn't
The
it
Bears showed up.
wasn't it this game where there was a non-call at the end that should have been pass interference? Was it this one?
I
I think
think
I think it was this
I
one.
think so.
Yeah, I think it was a Bears player was being held up by two dudes, and
At
it was it was
gunpoint.
it was it
I'm
was
sure.
yeah, basically.
It's being held up. Yeah. Felt
Um,
up.
yeah, felt up. But bro, this was a crazy game. Like,
It was. It came down to the wire.
and would you think that, knowing that they traded away Roquan Smith, like one of the better middle linebackers in the game, dog? Like,
Yeah.
they let him go because he was like tired of being there,
Yeah.
and like they were neck and neck with a team that was probably extremely heavily favored.
The Dolphins. Oh yeah.
And the Dolphins,
Especially
man, yeah, and
adding
they're
Bradley Chubb and Jeff
yeah,
Wilson, and like plus the talent they already have, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a blowout.
yeah, and they were running. They're doing exactly what's crazy. The Bears is doing exactly what they've been doing as of late, which is running all over people,
Justin
especially
Fields, man,
Justin Fields. Dog
was running all over the field.
178, bro. What the heck? This dude was over here acting like he was on a treadmill the whole time, man. I don't see these players, man. This is, to me, I'm just jogging out here. Like, I'm just getting a burn in. I'm burning some calories.
Yeah.
Dog.
He had 11, 12 yards on average per carry.
Man, dude.
4 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns on the day.
He
Three
threw for
for 3, ran for 1.
Ran for 1. And, man.
He said, David Montgomery, nah, give me the
Nah.
ball.
I'm
I'm taking it.
Who needs a running back when you got me?
And that's been their downfall right there. The running backs haven't really been producing like they should. But I mean, with Justin Fields, he is a running back. He can do that for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got some good bright spots. I mean, damn. Look at Tyreek though. Tyreek, 143 yards receiving, man. That's light work though. That's light. It's lightweight.
And then he didn't do nothing. I thought I misremembered how the game went because I was like, because I knew that Chase Claypool was going to be playing.
Oh, yeah, no,
he
wasn't a factor.
Yeah, he wasn't really a factor.
13 yards.
But damn, dog, like it's still like I can't wrap my mind around that, dude. That's some Madden type stuff. Like I don't.
One player kept it close. That was Justin Fields. One player.
Basically, man.
Like you said, it's some Madden stuff.
Whereas, like with Miami, it was a team effort to beat the Bears, and
A
Really,
whole team to beat one guy.
it was yeah. I was about to say it's really a team effort to just beat Justin Fields. That's all that it was,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy. Imagine when he gets better at throwing the ball, man.
Oh yeah.
Imagine. And but you know what? I think he'll get better like in no time because with the addition of Chase Claypool, like give us some time, let the
Yeah,
kids
give him
get that
some
chemistry.
chemistry.
Um,
Yeah, it's
and
gonna
then
be
yeah,
pretty fun to watch.
man,
Now the Bears got some picks now too, so who knows what they're gonna do. So, but yeah,
now
it was also good to see my boy Jeff Wilson out there
yeah,
playing. He's gonna be. I mean,
yeah,
Raheem Mostert is the number one, but Jeff he's gonna overtake that number one spot real quick. You know,
yeah. I was about to say, dude,
he
he had a good
they split the carries, but he got more yards. I mean,
yeah.
he
He
didn't get
was
the touchdown, but he's gonna give him a couple weeks, another week or so. He's gonna be taking the lead on that,
yeah,
and that's gonna be
definitely.
really good for. That's gonna be really another dynamic part of the Dolphins offense. It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah, for sure, bro. Because I mean,
because he's a hard runner,
for a dude who
and
just got traded there to do do what he did. I know it probably doesn't seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it was a lot. They
oh yeah,
needed him to get those yards. And
yeah,
then like, dude, Tyreek, man, Cheetah, him and Jalen Waddle, really.
oh yeah, dude,
Dude, Jalen was averaging 17 yards a catch, and then Cheetah was over here averaging 20 and a half yards
20
a
bombs all
catch,
day.
bro. Like, this is crazy.
But I mean that's average. That's their game, man.
Yeah, but it's just insane, dude, because they're like the next uh old school Rams with Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf. They're basically that, bro. Like it's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane the kind of football that we're being privileged to watch this year.
it's a
It's
fun team
weird.
to watch. I watched a little bit of that game, man. It was fun.
Cause like, dude, I've never seen so many like talented players in 1 year across so many teams. It's crazy.
I'm about to drop another name on you from another game. Man, I gotta give props to this man right here. Joe Mixon. Not Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon. My man's had 5 touchdowns on the day.
On the
4 rushing,
day.
1 receiving. 5 TDs on the day. 153 yards rushing on 22 carries.
That's crazy.
58 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Damn.
That is insane.
And the Bengals beat the Carolina Panthers 42-21. Damn. There's people that forget about Joe Mason and how he was one of the better running backs a few years ago for that
Yeah.
for the Bengals team. I mean, he's still relevant,
Well,
which is nice.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that like um what's his name? Their star wide receiver.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah. He gets used a lot the same way you guys use Debo.
Oh
So
yeah,
so that's why Joe Mixon kind of gets forgotten about because of how freaking dynamic Jamar is. Because I mean, this dude, like I said, he's getting used a lot the way you guys use Debo. Um, it's in the run game, it's in the catch game, it's whatever you need him to do, he'll do it. He's a Swiss Army knife, man. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, they put a whooping on them Panthers, man. Let's talk about a game. that went down to the wire. That was Tom Brady and company versus the LA Rams.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching this, bro, I was like, man, Tom's doing what Tom's doing, and I'm not gonna lie. I got real emotional for him because he was on the sideline, man. I could see it in his eyes, man. He was like, "This is what this team needs to do on a regular basis."
You know,
And
they talk about father time a lot. But let me tell you something, okay? Father Time be talking about Father Tom Brady a lot. Okay?
yes,
This dude is incredible. He wasn't getting much help from his teammates.
no,
They were letting him down with like different moments, the pocket collapsing, and also guys dropping the ball. Like they've been doing that all season, man. His receivers
running
have been letting
backs
him
not
down.
producing.
Yeah, man.
Rashad White and Leonard Fournette not producing like they should. We've seen them do it before. I mean, the one thing was their defense kept them in the game,
Well,
kept it close.
the real MVP of the defense was Vita Vea,
Vita Vea, yeah,
bro.
that boy, yeah, that big boy right there, yeah.
he was like taking over at the end there. And there was even a
Which
moment. Where he was like, "This is my house. This is my house."
my house, yeah.
Yeah,
He
dude,
was
that
hyping
was
it up,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, and I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling. Clock said 53 seconds. Here comes Tom.
He just needed a chance.
Here comes Tom.
His defense came up for him big to make sure that
They don't get the first.
they don't get the first. They had no
That was it.
timeouts. Tom Brady with that nice long pass to who was it? Was it Scotty Miller or was it someone else? I can't remember who it was.
I think it
It
was.
was a
I think it
nice
was Scott
long.
Miller.
It was right down the middle, and it freaked
Yeah,
out. It freaked out the Rams because
they got him shook.
they were so worried about the outside that they didn't even pay attention to the inside, and they saw how deep he went.
I think that
And
was. I think that was their game plan from the get go to try to get that middle and then run down to clock it. And
probably
then, I mean, but
they
I mean, it
probably
worked out. Tom was perfect
he was perfect
in
at the
that
end.
drive. Perfect right there.
Perfect.
And that's what I mean. That's what Tom does. That's why he's. People want to argue, but I mean, he's the greatest of all time, at least of our generations. Like he is.
At the very least of our generation, he's the greatest of all time.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
Um,
he just hit over 100,000 passing yards, right?
I know, but some people, want to give it to Joe Montana as the greatest of all
I
time.
mean,
I mean, I get
yeah,
it because he's undefeated in the Super Bowl, but to me, at the end of the day, it's this dude
clutch status.
went to more Super Bowls, and he got more rings, and he's just trying
Things,
to continue to add to his fingers, man. He's trying to
yeah,
he's trying to be like all blinged out in a different kind of way, you know. And
different kind of way. He's. This was the game the Bucks needed
oh, they
to
desperately needed this. Well,
this one to
what
light
was
some
crazy is
fire.
what's crazy is both teams needed this
Yeah,
because the Rams
really, yeah.
just going
dropping
downhill,
further
man.
and further in the division, which
And
is nice.
it's really
Good for me.
you and the Seahawks are the top dogs,
Yeah,
and they're just going further down, man. I don't know. They might say to themselves, we just need to make it to the playoffs and we'll go from there. Who cares about record? Because really, in all honestly, like it always comes down to that. You just need to get in there
hmm
because anything that you've
get
done,
in there.
it doesn't. Anything that you did in the regular season don't matter at that point.
Playoffs. That's a new season. That's a brand new
Brand new season.
slate.
Everybody's 0-0, and I feel like Tom Brady also feels that way. He's like,
Oh,
I just
for sure.
I just need to
He
keep this team afloat, and we'll go from there. Who
he
knows?
excels
Who
in the
knows what will
playoffs.
happen with OBJ? You know, there's always the chance that you guys might get OBJ and be able to at least use him as a distraction in the playoffs because
Yeah,
he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be, like at his full capabilities, because of the
yeah,
injury that he had. But for him to be kind of like a distraction, a decoy, pull another guy off because you got to respect him. Um,
hmm
that's probably big because right now they don't have a guy like that on Tampa. Um,
yeah. Mike
and
Evans isn't as what he used to be.
yeah, Mike Evans
Mike
seems
Evans is
to
a
have.
good receiver,
I feel like
but
he's regressed this season. Um, Scotty Miller has not been playing the way that I think he himself even expected to play at because he just doesn't. I don't know, man. He hasn't been that good in the slot. There was that
yeah,
moment. Look, there was that moment before the Rams got the ball back for that last drive that they had, um, where he had an easy catch in the end zone and he dropped the ball, man. He messed it up.
yep,
He let it hit his body and he didn't use his hands. He didn't have it out in front of him far enough. He had it too close to his body. So even if the ball hits his hands, it didn't have enough time to slow down before it got to his body, and that's why it's bouncing off.
yeah,
Um but yeah, Chris Godwin hasn't been playing very well. Julio's been dealing with a lot of injuries. I think
this
he's
age related.
I think he's done.
Yeah,
The dude has took so much punishment in his entire career. He wasn't available all that often last year for what was it, Tennessee that he was playing
Tennessee.
for.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
he was dealing with injuries then too. His last year or two in Atlanta, he was dealing with injuries. So this is multiple seasons now where you just can't seem to be healthy.
yeah,
And even when you are, you're a non-factor. Like today, he's a non-factor. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, dude, they need some help. Maybe they can find a name somehow in free agency. But there's no point in looking for it if they don't make it to the playoffs.
yeah,
At least know that they're gonna make it in there. Because right now, it's up in the air. Um, Tom can only do so much. But it
yeah,
was nice. It
for
was
sure.
nice. It was nice to see their defense step up finally, because that's been another area of concern. Their defense
Yeah,
has been very suspect this whole season.
yeah, definitely. Nah, this was a much a must win for both teams, but you know, you get the ball in Tom Brady's hands with seconds to go to win the game. That's what happens.
So, how about we finish with the NFL and we talk baseball. give our respect.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but before we do that, I want to remind everybody to like, subscribe, comment, and share this with everybody, man, that you think would like, um, the things that we're doing over here. And just let them know, man. We talk about every sport and every team, man. It's not just uh, one team in particular. We talk about everything, man. So we're gonna continue to get better at this. We're gonna be more entertaining every week, and we're also tinkering with the way the stream looks. Um, but yeah, man, uh, like and subscribe. Um, but let's let's talk about the World Series, man, because that just happened yesterday. Uh, you
Yeah.
and you and
Yeah.
I was rooting for the underdogs, but the
Yeah.
underdogs didn't pull through. They put up a valiant fight,
They did. They
but
put up a good fight in the last couple games. They tried to come back and win it in game 5. Didn't quite work out. Uh they they got off to a good start in game 6 with the early lead, but the Astros are a bona fide good team, man. They um I feel a lot was riding on this for the Astros, after their cheating scandal and whatnot. Uh for them to go out and win it and be like, yeah, we're legit, you know, it says a lot, you know.
it does. But at the end of the day, you can you can win as many games or World Series um, as you want under a microscope and prove that
Yeah.
all of them are good and clean. But once you put that little bit of doubt, it never goes away. But
It doesn't. It doesn't. And
but
there was a lot of there was
go
a lot
ahead.
of stuff coming up during this World Series. Like
Yeah,
the, they were under a microscope scope the whole time,
yeah,
you know, to one of the pitchers maybe using sticky substance, or they found a new way to get signs, and it was a lot of people trying to find things
hmm,
is what comes with the scandal that had happened.
yep,
It kind of tarnishes your name
yeah. I mean, just ask New
when,
England. Just ask New England. They
as New England,
there's
the
always
whole
a
the whole
speculation.
dynasty was,
There's always a
yeah,
speculation of some form of cheating. You had Spygate, then you had Deflategate,
okay,
and
yeah,
there's probably more things out there, but we just don't like all the way know. And maybe there isn't more than those two. But the thing is, we will never know. The fact that you did something on two different occasions, it
hmm
leaves it in your mind. The Astros doing one thing leaves it in everybody's minds. I mean, shoot, you don't even have to just like call out the Astros. Just like uh, all of baseball gets questioned because of like steroids and
yeah,
stuff like that.
PDEs, yeah,
You
performance drugs and stuff like
so
that, yeah.
anytime someone hits a world record, they always you
I
can never
guarantee
get away from with that.
I guarantee Aaron Judge
Hmm.
had some tests,
Probably,
after broke the he set the record for the most home runs in a season.
yeah.
I mean, it's a given. You do that, you're like, okay, we gotta test this guy. And I mean, nothing's come up. I'm pretty sure he is all, it's all straight. He just had a great season.
And
The man can hit the ball.
there's still gonna be those that say, well, he found a way
Way
to
to
cheat the
get,
test to
yeah.
to go
There's
under the
always gonna
radar.
be the haters. But I
But
mean,
but then there, even with that speculation, like what I told you, I remember when we were talking about Aaron Judge and what he was doing. I
Yeah.
said, I feel like it should have an asterisk, not because of anything cheating wise, really, because it's the entire league made their stadiums smaller, so that way there would be more home runs,
Yeah.
and so you know, for me, like it's kind of cheating the game, even though everybody is being afforded that cheat. You feel me? It's a
Hmm.
legal cheat that everybody's doing. Um,
Well, even I mean, you can even look at it like this uh Yankees stadium,
mm-hmm,
the right field bleachers,
mm-hmm,
like the right field fence
mm-hmm.
is way shorter than what the right field fence is in Houston.
Yeah,
And during that season or that series with Houston and the Yankees, Aaron Judge hit a ball that way and it was caught. It wasn't a home run, but in Yankee Stadium, it would have been a home run.
mm-hmm,
So it kind of like you kind of see like there's an advantage to a hitter at his home stadium versus like that advantage goes away,
yeah,
you know, at away stadiums. And they were trying. The Yankees were trying to trying to get this rule, be like that would have been a home run in our stadium. Why can't we make you know the stadiums the same
yeah,
across? But I'm like every I feel like every stadium should be just a little bit different, like that. So it kind of has like not a fair playing ground, but like there's different spots where you know
yeah. I get what you're saying.
it's
Like
gonna be
it's an even playing ground in a way, because
yeah,
there's pros and cons to both
pros and
stadiums.
cons. Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Um,
to say. Like yeah,
but yeah, like but
but for the
in the
most part, some stadiums are some ballparks are just quite the measurements are about the same, just maybe a little bit off. Um, but there are some ballparks that when you hit it like in the gap and it goes to the wall, that's a long way. Like there's some big like it looks like a lot of field,
yeah,
and there's some parks that have different dimensions on how the walls go,
yep,
and some are just a nice round all the way. So that's what kind of the dimensions of the actual field grass itself kind of plays a part, because you
yeah,
because you don't have to run as far. You can let it bounce off the wall, and you don't have to go as far. Some stadiums you have to run as far to get it, or you have to hit it farther. It's just it it puts a difficulty on hitters in
yeah,
some places.
yeah,
There's some ballparks that are pitcher friendly,
yeah,
that are really big, and pitchers have an easier time, because they get deep fly balls that don't go out, but they get caught. And you could be like, oh, in another stadium, that would have been a home run.
yeah, definitely.
But
But it makes
go back to the
baseball very interesting, and I'm sure that there was some factor of stuff like that, even in this World Series.
Mhm.
And I would have loved to have seen it go to 7 games,
Game 7. Yeah, that would have
but
been fun.
at least Philly fans can say that they were at least in the World Series.
Yeah.
They were there to the very end. No one expected them to get as far as they did.
Yeah, no. They were
they
sixth seed in the playoffs,
yeah
the postseason.
they had a Cinderella story, and
And I mean,
the
they
hats
have a
off
good team.
hats off to them. Just like hats off to the Astros. They
Yeah,
both organizations have a lot to be proud of. Um,
yeah. And I mean, I'm not a huge Astros fan just because I mean they're the same division as
yeah,
the Oakland A's. But it is kind of cool. It was nice to see Dusty Baker get another get his first World Series as a coach. Um, I mean, he's had World Series as a player, and he's got one as a coach or a manager. Um, and so that was pretty nice to see.
and then we got a local
It was all,
who's on the Astros, right?
no, he's on the Phillies.
Oh, he's on the Phillies.
Yeah. One player that I've watched since getting into the league is Reese Hoskins. He's a local boy from Sacramento. Went to played baseball at Sac State and was drafted by the Phillies. And then you can also say from where I'm at, which is Las Vegas right now. I'm from Sacramento. Was born, raised in Sacramento, but Las Vegas is kind of my second home. You can also say Bryce Harper because Bryce Harper is from Las Vegas. But yeah, I mean, I like Reese Hoskins. He's definitely on top of my favorite list just because I like to support local players from where players that where they came from, same place I'm from.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, they got a good team, and I feel like they're gonna do some really good things in the future, given that they stick with the team they got. So, but yeah, it was a good series. Definitely an exciting one to watch from the games I watched. But yeah, that wraps up the World Series.
So let's end things on a high note, talking about the NBA, but just our team, man. I don't feel like getting through
Yeah.
the whole NBA, man, because like the Brooklyn Nets just irritate my soul. I don't want to talk about them.
Yeah. I don't
I
want
don't.
to talk about that trash over there, man.
Yeah, man. So our team, the Sacramento Kings, were on the road and went up against the Orlando Magic, and it was a scary first half, man. It didn't really make you believe that there was much hope. The Kings were down as much by like what 20 points.
20,
Um,
20 points. Yeah.
I think that was like the most that they were down, and then
And they were getting ran on, man. This Magic team is young. They have length, they have height. They got Ball,
I mean
who is a cheat code.
just to give people an idea of how tall this team is. Okay,
Oh yeah.
their point guard is 6'5". Their two guard is 6'10". Their small forward is 6'10". Their power forward is 6'10", and their center is 7'2".
That's a big team. That's a big
That's
team.
a ginormous team. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even dude like some of the dudes that go by like 6'10". I think they're lying. I think some of them are actually 6'11".
Maybe.
Like Wendell
Yeah.
Carter, I feel like he's a little bit taller than Paolo is, and he's listed at 6'10", and I mean they're both listed at 6'10", and I kind of feel like Wendell Carter is just a smidge taller than this dude. But not only do they have height, but for a lot of their positions, they also have the size on them, man. So like the rookie Paolo, the dude weighs as much as LeBron James. Maybe he's just a little bit lighter, but the dude is a big dude. He's thick
And he's young.
and very young,
He's young.
very young, and he has like a man body on him already. That's what's crazy.
Men and young boys.
So just thinking about that, with this team being very young, being very active, throwing alley oops after alley oops to one another, um, it really didn't make you feel like you had much hope. It felt like this was not going to be your night. You was about to get
It was gonna be a
humiliated.
blowout.
That you didn't have
Yeah.
no answer for him. But then here comes two dudes who
That
are
needed. We said this. We said this to each other. We were watching the game separately. We said this. These two need to do what they need to do. What they do on a regular basis. Well,
yeah
we know what they can do, and that's what happened.
yeah
Plus more from others, but
I
the main
text
two,
I sent you
De'Aaron
a
Fox and
I, s-
Sabonis.
I sent you a text. I'm gonna look up the text, man, because I know we didn't
Yeah,
like text like that. Um, oh man, where is it? Okay, it was at like 4 o'clock or something like that, because this was a early afternoon game.
yeah,
I said that I needed a 30 piece from each of them to even have a chance.
yeah.
And okay, it was 3:28, and I said I need a 30 piece from Sabonis and Fox. That's when I said it, 3:28, because that was the only way we was gonna pull this one out. So was I right in my prediction? Well, I didn't get quite a 30 piece from Sabonis, but the dude was like filling up the stat sheet with different things,
Yeah.
and he was just shy of 30 by 5. Now, did De'Aaron give me a 30 piece? Well, he didn't give me a 30. He gave me a 37 piece, okay?
My boy almost dropped 40 points. Yeah.
This dude and Sabonis, they just took over. Um and I shout out to the bench too, because I was worried about the bench at one point. I said
Two key players off the bench.
Malik was
And
huge
Trey.
and Trey Lyles was huge. And I even would say Chimezi Metu was kind of huge for us. You know
Yeah, he
that
has some good
he
he has some
added
good plays.
he added some athleticism and just like an interchangeability between him and Trey Lyles, because either one
Yeah.
could be the center, either one could be the power forward. So those
Also
guys,
giving us that added length that we were lacking in, because this is
yeah,
a small team if you look
yes.
at it.
So those guys gave us a big time boost, because we gave them the keys where we were now just up 6 points on these guys, because we outscored the Magic 36-12 in that third quarter. And so we want them to build on it, or at least just don't give up the lead, or
Yeah.
barely give up a lead. Like, just like you still have the lead, but it's not diminished by much. And
Yeah.
so they did pretty much that. Um,
And the Kings, they played their best third quarter this season by far.
and that's
And that
been
was
that's been a
and
problem of
that's been
theirs.
problem. Even because even being up and at the half, going to the third quarter, they have lost it.
Yeah,
When you need to turn it up in the third quarter after halftime and keep it rolling. They did what they needed to do. They shut them down, and we scored points which was huge. And man, we had the lead going into the fourth, and you even asked me who, like, in this situation, what do you think the lineup is? And I damn near got it right. I was
Yeah,
off by one person, which I thought they were gonna have Kevin in there, Kevin Herter. But I'm glad they went with Monk because Malik Monk brings that spark, man.
yeah,
He is like he plays with everything. Like he's running around, he's cutting, he's moving the ball. He hit some big threes that we needed to hit. And man, I mean, I love watching him play.
yeah. Dude is phenomenal. He's definitely a big upgrade over Buddy Healed because
Yeah.
he's playing lights out basketball on both ends, not just on one
Yeah.
end.
The
He
defense is great.
he does at times finds himself getting too confident in his shot, like the way Buddy would, and just
Yeah.
take some shots when maybe it's not like the best time to take a shot. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think he's been very in control of himself, and I think him being with De'Aaron again also like gives him extra incentive to go all out because I think he wants to recreate the type of success that they had in college.
Yeah.
And with this team being a mixture of youth and vets, um, like you could see something very promising, especially with like your core being young-ish and
Youngish. Yeah.
and veteran-ish at the same time. De'Aaron being in his early mid 20s and Sabonis being in his early mid 20s, like
Yeah.
that's huge that you got those two, um, you know, with the possibility of like really going through the league together and building on that, possibly being a multiple time playoff team in the future, and then
Yeah.
you got a solid guy in Keegan Murray. I know last night wasn't
The last
his
the
best
last couple
game,
games the last couple games haven't really been there for him.
but
But I mean
I
that's gonna come. That's gonna
that
happen.
happens. That happens to every player. I don't care who you are. You have those games where, you're contributing a ton, and there's some games where you don't contribute that much. But as long
And
as you're not
it
a giant detriment to your team, you're solid.
and it and watching the game, it really wasn't him playing bad. He just wasn't the shots weren't falling for him. He was having good looks. They just weren't falling for him.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the
but
size
I
kind of
mean,
bothered him a little bit.
the size bothered him a little bit. I think he was getting bullied. Bully ball was brought on him. But I mean, I commend Coach Brown in making the decision and you know, having him out there just a little bit less.
Yeah,
Um, and then taken from what Mike Brown said was he I mean he pointed out some things that he wanted to what the first talk about was the guys that weren't doing so well in the game were even better on the bench for their teammates.
yeah,
Like he wanted to shout out Rashawn Holmes, Davion, um, even Sabonis was out for a good little while because he felt that he was like a little bit gassed. He was missing some free throws. Even Sabonis was doing great from the bench and cheering on his teammates. So that's like you see, like you hear that and you like the culture is forming. These guys are a team. There's not one guy that's doing it all. These guys are there for each other, win or lose, which is amazing, which I love to see.
yeah, and we got to like bring up that overtime. Um, the
Oh
fact
yeah,
the fact that like we were able to come back, get into overtime, and
and
then
and
uh,
it,
De'Aaron
defend two shots that the Magic had looks on to 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 win the game. Basically, to put the defense on them to take it to overtime was big.
and De'Aaron
We got
for
to talk about De'Aaron.
De'Aaron. Okay, De'Aaron was the big time hero of the show, and he was doing things because I brought up last time what he was doing this year, and I said, remember how many fans these retarded. I'm sorry for using the R word on that one, but dumbass fans that
Yeah,
were like, he's trash, get him out of here, duh, duh. You know, like yes, I didn't want to see Tyrese Halliburton being traded away, but
yeah,
like I also didn't want to see De'Aaron being traded away, but I knew that one of them had to go, and so the only the only problem that I had was I felt like you could have got more from the Pacers when receiving Sabonis. Like there might have been a way for you to get Miles Turner in return with Tyrese being traded and just throwing a couple little things to make things work. Um, because like Tyrese is younger and has a much brighter future in theory than Sabonis, who's an older player.
hmm
Not really older,
yeah,
but you know, it's just in terms of just like how it is in sports. You know, they they they'll throw in your age when it's convenient to them. You know, and so um, but I brought up how great De'Aaron has been playing, and I brought up the free throw percentage and the 3-point percentage. And what was so key in this game was those things. Those things are what came up so big. Not just the things that we're used to seeing him do, but this dude feeling very comfortable with his shot. This dude wanting to go knock down free throws, especially that one technical free throw that he went for. Like
yeah.
I
In the
like
past, we
in the
don't see
past
that.
in the past
We didn't see that.
you wouldn't want him doing it. You would want someone
No.
else who's a better shooter. You would want like a Kevin Herter shooting it, or
Yeah.
maybe a Malik Monk or somebody like that. Someone that you
At
think
the
of as a
time it
shooter.
was Buddy Hield or Bogdan.
Oh yeah,
Like it was or it was Nemanja Bjelica.
yeah.
Somebody who was on the floor that was a shooter. But
And but
his game
never
is stepped
De'Aaron
up.
back then. De'Aaron
Yeah.
was like barely a 70% free throw shooter, and he would oftentimes break it in the most inopportune times. And then as a 3-point shooter, plenty of people don't give him any respect because he's giving you enough body of work to show that he's not very accurate. But this year, that's not the case, man. This guy really honed in on his craft. He really embodied Mamba mentality, especially for this game. And
He took control, man.
he took control.
That overtime, he took control.
And he scored like 9 points in overtime. And that's a lot of points. Because you know it's a condensed amount of time for an overtime.
hmm
And then with everything being, you know, amped up, you know, times 10 or whatever. And then he gave us a 4-point lead, but then our team messed up right at the end.
That
Gave
yeah.
it up and made it a tied game, but De'Aaron wasn't
Said,
afraid of the
"Give
moment.
me
He said,
the
"Give me
ball."
the ball." With 6 seconds left on the clock, runs it down, goes to
To the logo.
to the logo. It was Dame range. It was Steph Curry range.
Curry range, and he called game, man. That was
And he shot the three. And also, on top of that, he was not afraid to shoot over the tallest player on the Magic. He kept sunning that dude.
He was working him.
7'2" did not bother this guy's shot whatsoever.
He was working him in the paint too, man. He was getting around Bol, and he was hitting the fadeaway shots. He was feeling himself, and we both said it. Where like he called for the ball, I was like, I have a feeling he's gonna make a shot. I didn't think he was gonna make a three. I think he's fast enough to get down the court, maybe take a mid-range shot.
Yeah, that's
what I thought.
That was unexpected for me too. I did think he was gonna make the game-winning shot, but I thought, like you, that he's so fast he could get damn near all the way down the length of the court
for a closer shot, you know.
Yeah, but this guy was so confident. He was feeling it. Like I said, he scored a good amount of points in that overtime. Plus, you factor in the fourth quarter and the third quarter. Really, the second half belonged to De'Aaron Fox, and I'm excited to continue to see him be the leader that he's been so far this year. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Kings beat the Warriors because they play tomorrow, and I honestly would not be surprised, especially with like all the problems that the Warriors have been having. We're gonna have our hands full because I'm pretty sure
it's still a good team.
I'm pretty sure the Warriors are gonna have their full complement of players. I kind of noticed. I kind of noticed that they're resting their starters if they're gonna have like back-to-back games and stuff like that. I expect Steph, Clay, and Draymond to be involved, but if length and size was not a problem for them yesterday, then I hope tomorrow just the stardom and the finesse that the Warriors have does not bother them either. I hope that they just bring it, and if they lose, I want to see them lose swinging. I don't want us to get on the podcast in the midweek and we're over here talking about how trash they played. I don't want that.
Especially after this game, this is a game you build off of, and if they they go in tomorrow, can they come out fighting, man? I feel like they're gonna have a good game. You want to see that, but then you want to be that team, and you want to be consistently where teams you play again, they're gonna be like, we didn't see this the first time.
Yeah,
this is kind of scary.
Yeah,
you want to be that team that people go, okay, we can't take these guys lightly.
Yeah,
put some respect on them.
Yeah,
they're gonna come out here. They're gonna try to give you the business. And like I said, they keep doing what they're doing on defense.
Every year, every year there's a team that's youngish or extremely young, and they fight hard. Even if their record makes them look like bums, like the league knows, they pay attention. The real hoop heads know when a team is actually filled with bums and with players filled a roster that's filled with players that fight hard and they don't care about the record and what it says. They're trying to build on something. They're trying to create a culture in career. I mean, look at the Utah Jazz, man. You and I talked about this to each other yesterday. Utah Jazz, you got to put respect on their name. Cleveland Cavaliers, put respect on their name. The Grizzlies, that's a team that you had to put respect on their name. Cause like I said, every year, right? That was them last year and the year before
Mm-hmm.
too, and it showed. It showed before last year. It showed before it, and so it's no surprise. It only who it was surprised, the casual people that don't
Yeah.
follow the league. That's who got surprised by those guys, not people who actually like pay attention to what the league has, because like I said, every year there's a few teams out there that look like the Miami Heat, because the Miami Heat
Yeah.
is filled with the most undrafted players on their roster, and you see how hard they play. It doesn't don't
Play
look at their
hard.
you don't have to look at their record. You just know that this is one of the hardest teams to go up against.
I mean, look at the Magic. They're 2-8. But
Yeah,
man, they play.
they put
They'll
up a
run
fight.
you up and down the court. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
The records don't show, but like there's some dog team not dog water teams, but dog teams. Like
Yeah.
they can make your night miserable,
Mhm.
if you don't if you take them lightly, I feel like this Kings team is becoming that way, you know. Just they have to stick to the things that they've been working on, defense and the things we always say is moving the ball, running the offense to your best players, and
Just
and
bust
go
your
out,
ass. Just bust your ass.
bust
Yeah.
your ass, go out fighting, and like I said, they keep doing that. They're gonna win more games than they lose.
There is one thing that I do want to see an improvement on, that is coming from Coach Mike Brown, and that's saving his
The
challenge
challenge,
for the fourth
yeah,
quarter. I don't want to
that's
see
two
it.
games now.
I I I think the players understand that you have their back. It's
Yeah,
just wait, man, because like we've needed those challenges. Like we probably wouldn't have gone in overtime had we had a challenge at the fourth.
yeah,
So
because there was a foul that was a bad call
yeah,
on us
On Trey Lyles.
on on the screen. Yeah,
Yeah, it was an
which
illegal screen. Yeah,
if was if we had that challenge, that I'm pretty sure that call would have been overturned,
yeah. So
and that would have been really good in our 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 favor. So
that's really my
yeah.
one critique of Mike Brown. And hey, look, here's another little tidbit. I talked about the whole looking for the right fits and stuff, and
Hmm.
part of our losses was because of the experimentation, and
Yeah,
you
you're
saw
not
in
seeing
this,
that
you're,
much.
you're not seeing it that much. He's ready to pull guys out right away. Like even though he gave love to Rashawn Holmes, who only played 5 minutes, he only needed to see 5 minutes.
Yeah,
There was no need to put him
yeah,
out there unless there was some real foul trouble. It's the same thing with some other guys, like Terrence Davis. He only played like eight
yeah.
minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, and he needed to be like, all right, you need to
But
come on back.
TD got a tech that game for no
Yeah,
reason. Well, there was a reason, but TD didn't. Whatever he didn't need to do. Because
yeah,
you could I don't know if you saw, but that happened, and Coach Brown was like, "Come on, TD, what are you
yeah,
doing?"
yeah.
You
So
know, and
I
that kind of
like,
probably got on Coach Brown's bad side,
yeah,
but he knew that TD wasn't having it that game. Played 8 minutes. Knowing your strong players for the night is what you got to go with.
yeah, because that's like a big part of any sport really, is making adjustments
Yeah,
and making them as fast as possible. And so that's the thing that I really love seeing from Coach Mike Brown is that he's pretty quick with making these adjustments. He's noticing them really fast,
Hmm.
and you know, TD's tech was the straw that broke the camel's back for Mike Brown because he probably would have left him out there for a little bit longer, but then he was just like,
I mean, he
I
was
don't.
producing. He was producing more than Davion. You know,
Yeah,
he's producing more points, more assists than Davion. Davion went 1-1-0 for 13 minutes.
yeah, but it also doesn't. It's producing doesn't always mean that you put things on the stat
Yeah,
sheet because there's things that you can't put on a stat sheet, like the fact that you
yeah,
stayed in front of your dude and you gave him fits, made certain shots more difficult. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that had a little bit to do with it. Maybe it's a combination of the fact that he needed to pull TD out to prove a point,
yeah.
uh, and yeah. So, um, but yeah, I have no real complaints over what we saw because hey man, sometimes you need to get your ass kicked for a first half in order to know what you need to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so with that game against Orlando, uh I don't care how prepared you are until you see that size for yourself, you're probably not ready for it, you know?
No.
And but then you saw how they responded in the second half, which is exactly what you want. Um, but as far as with other teams, like you should know what you're gonna get from the Warriors. You should know what you're gonna
No.
get from Cleveland,
Cleveland,
the
the Lakers,
Lakers,
the
the
Warriors again. Those
Nets.
are our next few
Yeah.
games.
So like you know what you're getting from a lot of these teams is just some teams are a bit of an unknown. Like the Magic were an unknown. Um and I'm sure that uh what's going to be an unknown is maybe Detroit and then
Hmm.
possibly even the Pacers. An unknown in that regards because now you got to go against old teammates. Both ways. It's
Yeah.
going to be a bit of surprise for both teams.
That's gonna be revenge game right there for
Yeah,
both sides.
yeah,
You know, you're gonna want to play good against your former team.
yeah.
And I mean, honestly, there's a lot of writing on that too,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, Tyrese is gonna have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's gonna have something to prove. Even Sabonis.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. But
so
yeah. So overall, uh, great stuff from the Kings. Hey
yeah.
man, hold on.
Overall, I'm
I gotta
loving.
I gotta take this damn thing off, man. There was too poo poo caca today. Yeah, so let me throw that off to the back. Let me put this one on. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Well, I should have did that to begin with, but it is what it is. Uh oh man.
But yeah, man,
Uh
I'm loving what I'm seeing here. It's still a process, but I mean, things are looking good. You know,
yeah.
I shout out to all the haters who wanted De'Aaron gone. All the haters that still don't trust Mike Brown. I'm just like, come on, man. Just just give in. Just give in. Don't be a hater.
Yeah, man.
Just sit back and watch.
Just watch.
Because you know, if something great happens, you're gonna want to be, oh, I hated on him the whole season.
Yeah, you don't want to be a
You want to
bandwagon fan.
be you don't want to be a bandwagoner. You want to be
Yeah.
like, I supported them throughout everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not
That's
saying it's gonna
hey,
happen. I'm just saying, if,
and
man,
that's
you don't
why
want to be that person.
we're sticking with our team despite the 16-year drought, man. That's why
Yeah, man.
we're being loyal to the soil always. Um,
Always.
I want to remind everybody to please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification button if you do wind up subscribing. Make sure you hit all so that way you're always reminded on time. Um, I want to thank anybody who came through and watched. Um, yeah, man, this is I'm loving the new look of the podcast, man, and it's only gonna start looking even better. And we're gonna make sure to always be improving, man.
Yeah,
We're always tinkering in our heads to think of ways to get better and all that, man.
we
Um, yeah.
always taking feedback too, man.
Yes.
Let us
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Give us
how we're
feedback.
doing.
Give
Give
us
us
feedback.
feedback. Take everything into consideration.
Yeah.
You know, this is
Uh.
something. This is something we built in our heads, and we did it, and it something we like to do for fun right now, but we want to continue to take it to the next level and build upon it. So yeah.
But yeah, man. Before we head out, you got anything going on this week, man? Anything?
Not much going on this week, man. Just, you know, taking everything day by day. I may look into doing more stuff for us on here, you know. Cuz my brain's always working,
Yeah.
always thinking about doing something, what would be cool, what would be
Yeah.
interesting to do.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, no, not much going on. Just and watching the Kings tomorrow. Watching, I'm excited to watch Monday Night Football because I think it's going to be a good game. Everybody tune in to that. Is Ravens and Saints. I think it's going to be a really good game to watch. So, you know, some good stuff to watch tomorrow. What about you, man?
I'm gonna try to watch this little indie film movie. Um, Not a lot of people have heard of it. It's called Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna
Oh,
try and watch that this week.
I heard
Some
about that. Yeah, I
it's
heard
real
about that.
unknown, man. It's real unknown. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
might watch another movie too. I forget the name of that one. But has Julia Roberts in it, and man, man, he used to play Batman. He played one of the Batmans. Forget what his name is now. But he was in Ocean's 11. The old dude. I forget what his damn name is. It's killing me. But
George Clooney?
George Clooney, man. The, him and Julia Roberts are in a movie together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it looks kind of funny, man. So I might watch that too.
Nice.
But yeah, man. I'm just gonna be doing the same thing that you doing too, man. Always thinking, always pondering. Uh, maybe play some Apex with the boys. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, new season. It's always fun playing
New
new season.
new broken season.
It might be broken,
Busted.
but it's still fun, man. Especially because we get some maps that we haven't seen in a while come back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, if you guys play video games too, man, let us know what you play, man. We'll probably play with you.
Yeah. If you play Call of Booty, let me know.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. Well, I guess
Oh man, and
what's up?
if you're a sportsman, man, tune in. Tennessee and KC is going into overtime right now. Tied 17-17.
Holy crap! Well,
Man, live tune in. Live tune in to sports right now, man. We're bringing it to you live.
yeah.
Breakdowns. Damn, Chris Jones is a big dude. Damn.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at my TV right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got
I got my TV on silent, but I had the game running in the background.
Yeah.
Are they gonna do something with it? Are they? No, they're not gonna do nothing.
Oh,
It's going to overtime.
if
They're all hugging
KC
each
gets the
other.
ball, KC
Yeah.
got the ball. That's game. That's a give and win right there. But I mean, Tennessee's got a good defense.
Yeah, man. Not to mention they have a decent running game.
Yeah, I mean, I like the new
It's
quarterback,
okay.
Malik
It's
Willis,
okay. It's okay.
and then little guy called King Henry.
Yeah.
You know, little guy. He's not that,
He grew up being
not that
called
big.
Prince Henry.
Prince Henry. But anyway, man, let's close it out.
All right, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. But we're going to head on out, watch the rest of this game. But yeah, man. Talk to y'all later. You guys have a good one.
Everybody. Night.